And now it's Renovate and Build. 60 minutes dedicated to building and renovating solutions. Here's your hosts, Jim and Sandra.
Good Saturday morning to you. If you're thinking of renovating your current home, building a new one, or just love learning about home improvement, then this is the show for you. My name is Sandra Lummis, and I'm joined by the founder and president of Fairtrade Works, Jim Perkins. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. The next 60 minutes are indeed dedicated to everything construction. And this morning, Sandra, we have some very interesting lineup of guests.
We do, and we're going to be highlighting our guests in just a few moments. But first, I wanted to talk to you, Jim, about some very interesting, heated feedback we had from last show. For those of you who didn't catch the show, we had some listener questions last Saturday, and after the questions just lit up. So let me just recap. It was Beth from Port Coquitlam who brought up the topic of an unhealthy home and buying a new home which she thought was her dream home. Turns out it had so much with it, and she's very fearful now of living in this new home, especially with 2 new children. So as you can imagine, Beth felt not only wronged, but so too did so many of the people that felt for her and have had similar experiences. But Jim, I know this brought up something for you, and that was, we don't want to sound like we're picking on all of the trades. There are some great trades in the industry out there.
Absolutely, yeah. We don't, there's a lot of phenomenal tradesmen and companies out there, but just with sheer demand and the amount of work that's going on in Greater Vancouver and BC and across Canada right now, it's just hit and miss. It's you just don't know who you're contacting, right? And that's one of the reasons why we started Fairtrade Works. All the trades and contractors in our trades pool are, they're incredible people. They're hardworking, they're honest, they're quality driven, efficiency driven, and then they really are trying to make a change in the construction industry because it's they've been in it for so long, and they just they're along with our mandate of trying to offer change and really rejuvenating the pride and quality back into the industry. And our platform is designed to let the cream rise to the top, because in the existing marketplace, with all that fragmentation we've talked about before, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of companies. I know a lot of phenomenal builders and tradespeople who are struggling for work, and I know a lot of crooks and pirates. Dom's nodding his head here, is aware that they're extremely busy because just through word of mouth or opportunity or undercutting and all these things. So it just creates this environment that's just tough to navigate if you're a consumer. If you don't know somebody in the industry, if you don't know where to turn, trying to get something done in this town is tough in the existing marketplace. And we really, as you know, we screen all our trades and contracts at Fairtrade Works. We have heavy contracts which binds what we say we're going to do to what we're actually going to do to protect homeowners. We have an escrow service to ensure that homeowners' monies are protected. They never overpay. They never offer large deposits. So we manage all that monetary kind of regulation through the process. We do our random safety checks through the project to ensure that not only that the quality is getting built, not only that the work that's being produced is binded to the scope package that was originally put in the contract, but just to ensure that their home is a safe environment through the process, and when they come home at the end of their kind of long work day.
And I should just point out, for anybody just joining us and not familiar with Fairtrade Works, we are third-party construction service, so we are not doing your building. So when Jim's talking about our labor pool, that's not people that work for us. These are people that have their own companies and have joined our labor pool free. So that's very important to point out.
Yeah, and we try to drive, again, we've seen the stats of construction companies in North America not making any money, not making any profit. So Fairtrade Works is not just for the end user, the consumer, but it's for the construction industry. It's for the good of everybody, so that they can focus on what they do best, and that's building, right? They don't have to estimate hundreds of jobs. They don't have to chase dead leads. They don't have to go and pick up deficiencies or deal with unhappy homeowners. We take care of all the client care. We take care of all the due diligence. We take care of all the scope packaging. So it allows the construction companies to do what they do best, and that's just simply build, drive efficiency, watch quality, allow the owners of the companies to get back involved with their workforce to, again, make sure it's being done right, rather than in the existing system they're just trying to run the business. They're just trying to stay afloat. They're out chasing dead leads. It's just this.
It's hard to run a business and do what your trade at the same time.
Absolutely. There was there's a survey out to the Greater Vancouver Home Builders Association, and it's the one thing that the companies asked for, and it wasn't for better human resources or more leads. It was just time in the day. In an 8 or 10 hour day, there's just not enough time to get everything that needs to be done in the construction industry right now, as well on top of that as actually knocking nails to make money, right? So
where do you think it all went wrong for the consumer and the home builder of 100 years ago?
I think just through evolution. I think the number one thing I think is lacking in the industry right now is just skilled workforce and pride, right? The pride has completely disappeared from the construction industry because of it just not allowing those people, not allowing construction companies to just to be able to do their job, and that's build good quality structures and to put their stamp on it, because they're trying to navigate this.
The guy showing up in the white van.
Exactly. It's impossible to compete against that. We all got to make a living. We've all got to pay our bills. So trying to compete against that, we have to maybe bend our morals or our way of thinking or whatever just to survive in the marketplace, because it's just such fierce competition from these hundreds and hundreds of companies that can just start up overnight and just start knocking on doors and getting construction projects. So it's really hard to differentiate the good from the bad, and that's what Fair Trade Works is all about, is by bringing quality people on an even platform, putting systems in place to drive efficiency, quality, and guarantees and pride back into the industry.
Well, let's learn from some of those trusted professionals today. Coming up later in the hour, we have Peter Hildebrand from Iredale Group Architects. He's going to be talking about the incredible Exchange Office Tower. For those of you unfamiliar with this building, it's rising in the downtown of Vancouver and is not only the first LEED Platinum office high-rise in the province, but also the first Canadian skyscraper to be encased in a triple glazed curtain. What's a triple glazed curtain? Well, we're going to find out later on and Renovate and Build.
And real estate expert Nicola Campbell will be stopping by to discuss leaving space in your budget for renovating when purchasing your dream home. Nicola has all kinds of great advice for buyers and sellers when it comes to doing things right without wasting time and money.
But first, turning our attention to Burnaby to speak to our neighborhood news reporters and, of course, our proud Fair Trade Works Trades Pool members, Dominic and Diana Sorachi. I love that name, from Dominate Contracting Limited. Welcome, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Sandra.
So nice of you to get up early in the morning, come all this way in to join us here on the show. And we always enjoy having you guys because you really are proud members we're pleased to work with at Fair Trade Works.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We said that, Dominate Contracting approached us how long ago now? When did
8 months.
8 months ago, Dom came in energetic and passionate and wanted to be involved. And, we've been using Dominate Contracting now almost on a daily basis ever since. And, Dom has really been kind of leading the charge in the trades pool and doing some great work from us, and these are the kind of companies that we just love having around and helping us on our mission, right? So.
And it's nice to see you here on a Saturday, not out on the job site always, because we kind of are passing you guys on a regular basis.
And that's usually where we are on the weekends, is going from job site to job site, municipality to municipality. So it's definitely a great pleasure to be here, and we thank you for having us.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
So let's start right into Burnaby. What's happening in construction and development there?
Oh, it's huge in the Burnaby area right now. So I was born and raised in North Burnaby, and I moved out in 27, moved to the Fraser Valley, and the last 7 years, you drive into Burnaby, all you see is tower after tower getting put up, and townhouses and new shops and everything. I truly believe with that happening is because it's central. Burnaby is central, and people. 25 minutes west, you're in downtown core, and then 25 minutes heading the other way east, you're in the Fraser Valley, and people love to go to Burnaby, and it's just a beautiful city to be in, and and the housing market is just thriving. People renovating their homes, and I personally think it's just because it's central to everything, and the transportation there, and the the skyline, and SkyTrain, and it's just huge for the city of Burnaby, and and it's a great thing that's happening out there.
It's so close. It's funny, Burnaby's rich in character. I used to work out there along the East Hastings corridor, and you guys being Italian heritage, there's just a lot of character out there. Capitol Hill people don't know about Capitol Hill, just east of Boundary up on the hill. There's got gorgeous views of the cities, gorgeous views of the docks. I know it's just a super cool area, and it's super diverse, like you said. There's tons of store. You don't have to come to Vancouver, and it's funny always coming from Britain, coming from big cities, where Vancouver, and you could be in Burnaby in 10 minutes, right? People talk like it's a different city, but it's not. It's just like it's down the street.
Down the street, yeah,
it's down
exactly.
the street, and accessible. I own property on the east side, commercial property, and it's I don't know anywhere else in the world where we can have commercial property, and it's like 10 minutes to downtown, right?
That's right.
It's it only makes sense that Burnaby is going to continue to be on the up and up.
Yeah, if you look at the Hastings area in Burnaby, they're refacing the all the stores there and all that
It
stuff.
has to change. Like
it does.
That's the old CBD of Vancouver, the old Hastings corridor. It has to come back because those buildings are there's just too much pressure.
Yeah.
There's no land, there's no buildings, and I strongly believe that whole corridor will return back to its original kind of CBD status and become one of the epicenters of business in Vancouver. You can't ignore it. There's great hotels there that are so run down, they'll be rejuvenated. There's great stores, there's great corridor, there's great access to downtown.
No.
And any history of any city, you'll notice that the CBD, it always thrives, it depletes, it gets derelict, and then it always comes back again. It's interesting, right? So I believe Burnaby will.
And like you say, Burnaby is now considered a city. I mean, once considered suburbia,
Yeah.
people are moving out further, like to Langley and Surrey, to get into suburbs. Burnaby's really a city within itself now. One of the major developments we're seeing now is the major commercial center, Brentwood Town Center, as it is called now. They're revamping it.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're revamping that. I believe it.
Do you
will
notice
be
I
done
pick
in the
up when
next
I say
couple
shopping?
Yeah.
It's going to be a bigger shopping
well,
center than it is currently, which is great. And you have the rapid transit right there, which is a big draw.
That's at Lougheed and Willingdon, right?
That's right. They're putting up 8 towers in there. Yeah, and they're going to revamp the whole mall, and they're going to have outdoor shopping there. And it's just, they're supposed to be like, I heard 37 towers all the way around that area, the Lougheed and Willingdon area. So it's huge development happening. And like I said, it's central, so that's why people love to move out there and be in that area. So.
And still priced pretty affordably when you're comparing it to Vancouver prices,
That's correct.
right? So
yes,
it's nice for young families to get a start there.
That's
you can
right.
still get a home.
Like with the clients I talk to when we're renovating their homes in Burnaby, they don't want to, sell the house and move somewhere else because they love the location. So the location has a big thing to do with it.
It's funny, Vancouver. Yeah, there's a lot of kind of migration around Vancouver. Burnaby, some of those old streets, there's families and generations have been there forever, and they ain't going anywhere else.
Yeah, like my parents, they've been there for 40 years. So no one wants to move out of there.
There's a lot of pride in the community, as in every community, and you see that in terms of the development, like senior homes, recreational facilities, preschools. All types of developments are happening really to foster the sense of community within Burnaby, and you can see that even with Brentwood Town Centre having residential development there too, to accommodate people moving in or people wanting to stay, downsizing maybe out of a house to an apartment. So we really see that. One of the bigger draws too for people that want to actually move to Burnaby is that 25% of Burnaby is open space, park space, and people still value that, not just crammed with buildings and houses, but there's a lot of that open space there. Like I mentioned, rec facilities, you have the rapid transit line as well. So there's so many things for people to do there in terms of the community. So it's a huge draw.
Do you find that the acceptance of development is pretty quick compared to perhaps Vancouver City Hall being overloaded right now?
I would say so, because people are expecting that. So they're moving to Burnaby and they're expecting development to happen. I think that's one of the big things when residents are there. They know that development's going to happen and that development is going to improve the city rather than change it to something else. Like, for example, the bike lanes in Vancouver, there's a lot of obviously controversy in that. Some people are for it, some people are not. So because there's a lot of heritage there and they want to preserve that and they don't want that change to happen so quickly. But in a place like Burnaby, people are open for change. They want it to develop. They want it to become a city.
Exactly.
They want to change it from suburb to city.
There's a lot of salt of the earth, working class, good people who are quite happy to renovate, build, see new development, get the upside in their properties, and just embrace it, right? Which in Vancouver, it's too diverse in Vancouver and it's too new there. In Burnaby, it's just like,
And they got so much land that they can develop and all these stuff going on there. So
interesting. Right. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm moving to Burnaby.
Well, recently, Maclean's, actually a couple years ago, Maclean's magazine voted Burnaby one of the best run city in Canada. And I think that's very true right now. I mean, the city of Burnaby, just having a look at what they're doing, they're really, really pushing forward for development. We can see that, like Dominic says, when you're driving into Burnaby, you see all that development happening.
It's a sleeper, right? Like it's like anything else. In 5 years, Burnaby will you won't even recognize it, right? It's coming quick.
Well, I was going to say we need to get you waving the Burnaby flag more because it's been staying quiet compared to some of the cities like Surrey.
It's so quiet. It's like literally next door, and you'll see a lot of that. Like Vancouver, we'll talk about Surrey, we'll talk about New West. Like Burnaby is our neighbour, and there's so much happening there, and it's just an extension of Vancouver.
That's right.
I shouldn't say that for people in Burnaby.
Well, we hope you'll come back and join us again and update us with any of the latest developments.
We will.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Dom and Diana. We know you're busy, so we'll let you guys get back to work. We've been speaking with Dominic and Diana. Can you correct me on your surname again?
Srirachi.
Srirachi, like
Versace.
Yeah.
of Dominate Contracting. I'm going to say that word again, Dominate Contracting, because they are a phenomenal construction company. I'd like you to contribute to our weekly feature. If you'd like to contribute to our weekly feature that focuses on construction and development in various communities around the province, please email us at radio@fairtradeworks.biz. That's radio@fairtradeworks.biz.
Did you guys know before you go here that you can actually, in the winter months, control your heating while you're driving home?
Yes,
just with your
did.
smartphone?
Yeah.
Incredible.
It's fantastic. And we're going to be hearing all the latest heating solutions and control systems with Gary and Meg coming up this hour on Product Face Off.
And just ahead, looking for a new home but can't seem to find one that meets all your wish list? Nicola Campbell from Walter Homes is our next guest. She has some great tips for you to help create your dream home. Stay with us.
There's still lots more ahead. This is Renovate and Build, powered by Fair Trade Works with Jim and Sandra.